Are you doing something with your hands right now that you think has nothing to do with your bedroom and everything to do with it? There's a 2-minute routine done lying in bed before you turn off the lamp that a controlled clinical study found improved erectile function in roughly 2 out of every 3 men who stuck with it. Not a pill, not a cream. A muscle most men over 70 have never once been told they have. I'm 83, and most nights now I fall asleep next to my wife without either of us thinking about the bathroom, and without either of us pretending we're not thinking about anything else at all. Stick with me, because the muscle I'm about to describe is the same one behind your stream, and once you know where it is, you can't unknow it. Here's the scene I lived for years. Lights off, wife already breathing slow and even beside me, and me lying there, running through the same math I ran through every night, how many hours until I'd have to get up, whether I'd make it back to sleep after, whether tonight would be the night things worked the way they used to if she reached for me first. Most nights I just laid still and hoped she wouldn't, not because I didn't want her to, because I was terrified of what would or wouldn't happen if she did. That's a particular kind of loneliness, lying an inch away from someone you love and still feeling like you're facing this alone. I never said it out loud. I don't think most men do. We just quietly stop reaching, stop initiating, and let our wives believe whatever story is easier for both of us to live with. Nobody explained to me why this was happening, and I mean nobody. Not the doctor who prescribed my blood pressure medication, not the urologist I saw twice a year for my prostate numbers. They had 8 minutes each visit. 8 minutes doesn't leave room for, here's why your bladder and your bedroom are having the same problem. So I want to give you those 8 minutes now. There's a sling of muscle running from your pubic bone to your tailbone called the pelvic floor. You've used it. It's the muscle you'd tighten to stop your stream mid-flow or to hold back gas in a crowded elevator. Most men have no idea it's there until something goes wrong. That muscle does 2 jobs at once. It controls the valve on your bladder, and it supports the veins that trap blood inside your penis during an erection. When it's weak, which happens gradually with age and with sitting most of the day, you lose ground on both fronts. The stream loses force because the valve doesn't hold and release with the same control, and erections lose firmness because the muscle that should be clamping blood in place simply isn't strong enough to do it anymore. For 11 years, the bathroom ran my nights. Up at midnight, up at 2, up again at 5, a weak little stream each time and never quite empty. I'd lie there staring at the ceiling, knowing I'd drag through the next day half awake. I thought it was just age. It wasn't. Here's what no one ever sat me down to explain. The prostate crowds the channel your urine runs through, so the bladder never fully drains. It just fills right back up within the hour. That's why you go and go again. It was never weakness. It was never getting old. And the pills they kept handing me, they left me dizzy every time I stood, gave me that strange, dry finish where almost nothing came, and the nights never changed. But there is a gentle way to help that bladder empty the way it's meant to, without any of that. At 83, I finally sleep through the night again. I'll show you exactly what in this video, and if you want the simple support I personally use, there's a free presentation linked in the description below. So here's the routine, the thing I do lying flat on my back right before the lamp goes off. First, find the muscle. Next time you're urinating, stop the stream deliberately for a second, then let it go. That's the muscle. Once you know where it lives, you don't need to be midstream to use it. Lying in bed, you tighten it as if you're stopping that flow, hold for 5 seconds, then release fully for 5 seconds. Do 10 of those. Then flip it. Quick, hard squeezes, 1 second on, 1 second off, 10 times. That whole sequence takes under 2 minutes. This isn't a routine I invented. A randomized controlled trial published in the British Journal of General Practice put men with erectile difficulty through exactly this kind of structured pelvic floor training alongside biofeedback, and a majority of them saw meaningful improvement in erectile function, enough that a large share no longer met the criteria for needing further treatment at all. This is the same muscle you already unconsciously fight to control every time you feel a sudden urge you can't get to a bathroom fast enough for. I want to be honest about the limits here too. This isn't instant, and it isn't a replacement for whatever your doctor has you on for your prostate or your blood pressure. Talk to him before you start anything new, especially if you've had any pelvic surgery. What this is a foundation, and I stacked 3 other things onto it because none of them work as well alone as they do together. Alongside the nightly squeeze routine, I stopped drinking anything with caffeine or alcohol after about 6 in the evening. Both act as irritants to the bladder and as diuretics, meaning they push more fluid through you exactly when you're trying to wind down for sleep. I also started elevating my legs for 20 minutes most afternoons, because fluid that collects in your legs during the day gets pulled back into your bloodstream once you lie flat, which is a well-documented driver of nighttime bathroom trips. Moving it earlier means less shows up after midnight. And I paid attention to sodium, cutting back on salty dinners specifically, since researchers have tied higher salt intake directly to more frequent nighttime urination. 4 small habits, 1 shared muscle and 1 shared circulation system, working from 4 directions at once. None of these 4 things replace each other. The squeeze routine builds strength in the muscle itself. The fluid timing keeps that muscle from being overwhelmed at 2 a.m., and the salt reduction takes pressure off the whole system before bedtime even starts. I track it loosely, not obsessively. A glass less wine after 6, legs up during 1 TV show in the afternoon, 10 squeezes before the lamp goes off. It's not a lot to ask of yourself for what you get back. Last month, my wife and I drove out to visit our granddaughter 3 states over, 6 hours in the car, and I didn't once ask her to pull over. 6 hours. 83 years old. That's not luck. That's a muscle I trained on purpose every night for months. There's a man named Frank, 76, a retired electrician out near Sacramento, who wrote in after watching one of these. He said he'd quietly given up on intimacy with his wife of 41 years, telling himself it was simply part of the deal at his age. He started the nightly routine because it cost nothing and took 2 minutes. And within about 6 weeks, he told me his wife had noticed a change in him before he even said anything to her. I'm not telling you his timeline is yours. Every man's body responds differently, and Frank was already managing his blood pressure carefully with his doctor throughout. I'm telling you because his story isn't rare. It's one of dozens I've heard that all start the exact same quiet way. So here's what I use: a few drops every single morning. And let me be honest about why it works. 1 herb on its own nudges one thing, but your prostate answers best when several signals are calmed at the same time. The flow, the emptying, the pressure behind it. That's why what I take brings them together, concentrated, working as one, not a single ingredient hoping to do everything. Stronger stream, full emptying, quiet nights, your freedom back. And none of the trade-offs, no dizziness, no dry finish, nothing taken from you as a man. It's linked right under this video. Go see it for yourself. It won't replace good sleep or your own doctor. It's there to support your body. At 83, I sleep through. It is not too late for you. Here's what I want you to walk away with tonight. The stream and the bedroom were never running on separate tracks. They share 1 muscle and 1 blood supply, and both respond to the same 2 minutes of deliberate attention. Support that muscle, alongside whatever your doctor already has you doing, and you're not fighting your age. You're just finally using a piece of your own body nobody ever pointed out to you. I think about the man I was, lying still in the dark hoping my wife wouldn't reach for me. And I think about the man I am now, 83, who reaches first. I didn't get my youth back. I got 2 minutes of my own attention back every single night, and it turned out that was enough to matter. If tonight's routine sounds like something you've never once heard from your own doctor, tell me in the comments, and tell me honestly how long it's been since you tried anything new for this. I read every comment myself. If you want more of these, the ones nobody explains in an 8-minute appointment, subscribe, and I'll walk you through the next one.